Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we are going to talk about all the stuff that was in the sky over the weekend. Had a whole lot of questions come in about it over the last couple days. If you don't know, I don't feel well, or I would have answered these sooner. So if you missed it, a whole bunch, at time of filming, I want to say 4 new objects were discovered within either U.S. or Canadian airspace that have had pretty immediate responses from the countries in question. And they have taken a number of items down. That is what the reporting suggests. People are asking what it is. Obviously, because, everyone's a Captain Kirk, one of the theories that has been suggested is aliens. I find that a little unlikely that they would show up in the exact way and area and right after a Chinese surveillance balloon. That doesn't seem really likely to me, but it was in the messages, so we'll address it. Another is that when the Chinese put up their balloons, they put up a whole bunch of them at once to kind of test them all out together. And they don't have a lot of control over them. I like it. Maybe. That tracks. Some people have suggested that they are not Chinese balloons, that they are civilian balloons, or from companies, universities, and they're legitimate research balloons. Yeah, that could be it too. That's definitely plausible. I have another piece of information that might help shed some light on this. Recently, a Chinese spy balloon flew over the United States. You might have heard about it. I do believe there were some people who suggested that those types of surveillance overflights were really common and happened all the time, and it was nothing to worry about because they happened a lot. I believe they said pretty much every day, whether it be satellite, plane, or something exotic. So this one that they tracked made it coast to coast, and everybody had an opinion about that. While it was up there, they kept contact with it. They watched it, kept visual contact with it a lot. They had orders to identify, clarify, and classify it. And my guess is that they've kind of dialed in their sensors to 11. So now they're picking up all of them. They, during the time it was flying over the country, they were gathering intelligence on it, and they were learning how to track it and track it better. And this is going to be a concern for Chinese counterintelligence. So once they figured out how to track it, they get their equipment kind of dialed in to get it right, and they start looking. Back at base, sparks in the software. Flash the message, something's out there. And then the war machine springs to life. And they got to knock it down. Now, that being said, I think that them dialing in their equipment and really now having a good read on how to track these things, I think that has a whole lot to do with it. That being said, options 2 and 3, they're still totally in play. The Chinese could have released a whole bunch at once as a test of their system and of the equipment. And they really just can't recall them. So that could also be at play at the same time as them using the intelligence they gathered by allowing it to fly over to make their equipment and their tracking and their warning systems better. And it could also be that it is now really good at picking this stuff up, and old legitimate research equipment is now being tracked where it wouldn't have been before. these are all possibilities. None of this stuff is incredibly scary to me. I'm not incredibly concerned about it. I would be real careful with how much attention is being drawn to China. Yeah, they're a near peer. They're a competitor nation and all of that stuff. From the U.S. point of view, that is how it is viewed. Yes, we are now we're in that contest. Just remember that the Chinese government is made up of people, not monsters. They're not. They are going to behave like any other country. There's undoubtedly going to be a lot of propaganda coming. Don't let it scare you. Don't do that. My guess is the reason there are so many now. It's not that there are so many now. It's that the U.S. is better at picking them up because they took the time to analyze all of the data from the balloon that they tracked across the country. Makes it easier for them to pick it up, and they're engaging them. That's my guess. Could some of them be legitimate, research? Yep. Could it happen this way because a whole bunch of them got released at once? Yep. But I think it has to do with the information gained by tracking it across the country. Made them better at identifying them and spotting them. Remember, surveillance flights are really common. They happen all the time. There's one happening right now, I assure you, as you watch this. More importantly, and to keep focus on this, I assure you the United States, or whatever country you're in, it's doing it to somebody else right now. They're really common. Now, yeah, these are a little bit more intrusive, but the concept's the same. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.